Easter Sunday, that means you get sharp and little children show up that you don't see no more until next Easter. Y'all not here. That's another day that we have taken from the Lord. It's his birthday. Instead of calling the birth of Christ, we call it Christmas. And because it's Christmas, that means you have Christmas parties. From the 1st of December until the end of December, it's Christmas party, and you invite everybody but the birthday person. That if Jesus would show up to some of our so-called Christmas parties, we wouldn't be able to keep him because there's nothing in there that he likes. Y'all don't hear me in this house. And instead of focusing on Christ, we focus on somebody dressed in a red suit that's supposed to be coming down a chimney in a house that don't have a chimney in. Oh, we find our way of robbing that belong to God, and we use it for our own glory. He said here that there's a feast of the Jews. Walk with me a moment. It's a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now it says, now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda. The word Bethesda means mercy. Remember that. It means mercy, having 5 porches. The word 5 is the word in the Bible for grace. Here it is, a place of mercy. And it is presented to us with the grace of God. I don't know if you know it or not, but grace and mercy work hand in hand together. There's a little difference between the two. Mercy is when you don't get what you do deserve. Grace is when you get what you don't deserve. Let me explain. I just committed a crime. I go to the court, and because of the crime I have committed, I am to do time behind bars. But instead of doing time, the judge have mercy on me and said, since this is your first offense, I'm going to let you off. Now, I was supposed to do time, but because he had mercy on me, he did not give me what I deserve. Thank God, God don't give us what we deserve. Psalms 103 verse 10 says, God does not judge man according to his sin, nor reward him according to his iniquity. I heard a preacher preaching that one day. He said, I want to thank God for what he didn't do. You see, we always thank him for what he did do, but every now and then you ought to tell him thank you for what he didn't do. Because the wages of sin is death. You see, by right, all of us deserve death, but instead of giving us death, he has given us life, which means he didn't give me what I did deserve. Grace means favor. Favor means that you got something you didn't earn. All of us in here, we have been favored by God. God has had and given us favor. One of the things the devil don't like for you to do is even mention this matter of grace. He try hard to keep you from being saved by grace. Matter of fact, if there's a sinner sitting in the house this morning, when the invitation is extended and the word go forth for you to accept Christ as your Savior, if you're not careful, somebody sitting right next to you, the devil will punch them in the side and they'll have to get up and move. And they get up, the devil move them just so you won't get up to come to Christ. He do all the stuff he can to keep you from being saved by grace. He'll have somebody next to you using their cell phone, sending emails and texts in worship service, looking at Facebook. I wish I had some help in there. stuff to distract you from being saved by grace. But after you have been saved by grace, the devil will try to stop you from growing in grace. In other words, you'll have excuses to keep you from coming to Bible study, to stop you from coming to Sunday school. You'll be too busy to study your own Bible. He don't want you to grow in grace. If you're saved by grace, grow in grace, then he will try to get you to fall in disgrace. Because when you fall in disgrace, it will damage your testimony. In other words, what you say, folk won't want to hear you because they can't look past your mistakes and hear what you have to say. Am I here by myself? And so the 5 porches stand for grace. It was his grace. The Bible said, then watch the problem. There lay. Everybody there was laying down. Nobody was moving. They were laying. Then it said they were impotent. That means without strength. Then they were blind, which meant they couldn't see. Then they were halt, which means they were crippled. Then it said they were withered, which means useless. Y'all don't like me. People had then serious problems. They were at the gate, had 5 porches. It was kind of a hospital where the weak, the weary, the wounded, without strength, came to lay and die. They were all in serious conditions. But it also described the condition of people now. It really described the state that we're in right now. That all of us have a serious problem. Number one, we have a problem with disappointment. I'm looking at somebody here now. Your heart is broken right now because of what someone has done to you. And you can't get past what they did or what they said. And it's wearing you down. You get up with it on your mind. You go to work with it in your heart. You come home looking at it. Every movie you see reminds you of your disappointment. Talk to me if you can. But I'll stop to tell you that God can solve all disappointments. He has an unusual way of turning your world upside down. He can turn your midnights into day. He can take your traps and turn them into trapeze. He made you in handling disappointment. But not only did they have a problem with disappointment, they had a problem with doubt. Doubt sits on your shoulder. Even those of us that have faith, faith is on one shoulder, doubt is on the other. Faith says you can make it, doubt says you won't be able to do it. Faith said take a step, doubt said don't make a fool of yourself. Faith said one step will do, doubt said wait until another day. Doubt love to keep us down. Do I have a witness? But then there is what you call disability. That means you want to do stuff, but you're not able to do it. Oh, y'all don't like me in this house. You want to do it, but you say, I don't see how I'm going to survive. Here's what I must do. Validate your weakness. In other words, stop saying you're strong when you ain't. Stop trying to convince yourself You can do stuff you can't do. Too many of us give ourselves grades too high. Y'all don't hear me in this house. You give yourself a grade too high. You talking about what I can do. You can't do it without Christ. But if you have him, you can get it done. Oh, I'm going to take my time today. If you trust him, help me say him. Jesus come to wrought a miracle. Deus, Greek word for miracles. It means power. It means strength. It means might. Meaning what I cannot do, the Lord can do. What I'm not able to do, God can get it done. Is there anybody here have already experienced a miracle? The best way to describe a miracle is this way: something that can't happen, but it happened. Something that's impossible to be done, but it was done. I don't have to go far to see a miracle. All I have to do is just stand up in the mirror. And I see a miracle every time I stand. Maybe I'm the only one in here that can attest to the fact that I don't look for a miracle. I am a miracle. Better take somebody like I was, turn their life around. Can't nobody do it but the Lord. The Bible said there lay a great multitude of impotent folk. Now here's the problem. If it was one that had strength, it'd be all right. But the whole multitude was weak. Y'all got your Bible somewhere. They were impotent. They were blind, which meant they couldn't see. Halt, which means they were withered. And then they were waiting. It's so hard now to wait. Waiting is one of the most difficult things on planet Earth to do now, because we're so used to having it right now. We can't wait at a red light. We sit there, and because the light take 30 seconds to change, we're restless. When is it going to change? Why is it taking so long? We can't wait for other folks to get in the traffic. We pull up to keep them from getting in. We go to McDonald's. Can't wait on a Big Mac. Sit there. If it take 2 minutes, we start looking in the window. What are they doing with my food? It's taking too long. They sell cars now, not because of how they look, but because of speed. How fast it can get from 0 to 60. And you take off flying like a bat out of hell and ain't going nothing but to the next block. Turn around, but we can't wait on nothing. We don't even use our stoves no more. It takes too long to cook. We put everything in the microwave. Have we got any help in this house? You can get a $50 phone to do anything you want to do with it, and that's call. That's all you need to do with it. Call whoever you're going to call. We spend $1,000 on the phone because they say it's quicker. Y'all don't like me in this house. That's why young people get in trouble now trying to get money quick. Don't want to take time, talk to me somebody, and make a decent living. You want to sell drugs and you want to get it right now. Want to get it quick. Want to get a quick dollar right now. because they see us doing stuff in a hurry. It's hard to wait. Young ladies can't wait till you get grown and get married. You got to experience sexual activity before you're strong enough to say no. And you can't talk to black brothers long because they got a gift of gab. They know how to talk you out of stuff. Twist the head one-sided. Anytime they cock their head sideways, run. Don't hang around because they finna get you. I wish I had some help in this house. You run as soon as you can. They'll tell you they're gonna get you a new car and they own a bicycle. So hard to wait. But they were waiting on the moving of the water, because a certain season of the year, an angel will come and trouble the water. And whoever was the first one that stepped in after the troubling of the water, they were made whole. Wait all the year, blind, halt, withered, lame, waiting. Now, it just looked like after 38 years that somebody would have bonded with somebody. Since you can't help yourself, look like you ought to pick up a friend that will help you get in the pool. But you know, folks are so strange until if I can't get in there, I ain't gonna let nobody else get in there. You ever seen people say, if I can't make it, you sure ain't? And I've discovered if you learn how to help somebody, then somebody will help you. If you learn how to give somebody a helping hand, when you get down, may not be that same person, but somebody will give you a helping hand. Scholars argue if that is the case, but I never debate about angels, because the Bible gives us many signs and hints about the work of angels. Angels are all over the Bible. They do so many mysterious things. When Abraham and Sarah put Hagar out and put Ishmael out for them to survive on their own, they was about ready to starve to death. And an angel hollered to Hagar, Hagar, lift up your eyes. Look ahead of you. There is a well of water. An angel directed Hagar to a well. It was an angel that said to Abraham, you're going to be the father of many nations. It was an angel that came and wrestled with Jacob all night long. It was an angel that went in the lion's den and locked the jaws of the lion when Daniel was captured in the den. Angels will show up. You've heard me say it before, all of us have been assigned an angel, because Psalms 91:11 says he gave his angel charge to keep watch over you. That means everywhere you go, there's an angel with you. You may not see him, but when somebody comes trying to mess with you, they see the angel. That's why some folk ain't bothered you yet. You didn't know. You thought you was just lucky. Ain't no such thing as luck. you either blessed or cursed, rename Barger, because God has dispatched angels to keep watch over you. I wish I had some help in this house. You scared to go out by yourself at night. You just as bad in the house as you are on the outside. But the rename bother you because God dispatched his angel. Snakes won't bother you when angels are around you. Dogs ain't gonna bother you when there's angels. You see them go to backing up. You're trying to figure out what's going on. It's an angel. Do I have a witness? He said at a certain season of the year, the water was troubled. And whosoever first stepped in the water, they were made whole. The text said in verse 5, there was a certain man that had an infirmity 38 years. Can I pause and tell you, that's a long time to be sick. 30 years is a long time to lay in one place. That meant he had had 38 years of disappointment. Every time he got ready to step in the pool, somebody else would step in front of him. But he kept on staying there. Y'all don't hear me. Help me say, he kept on staying there after 38 years, hoping and praying, Lord, that something would happen to it. But then watch the Bible say, and Jesus saw. I like that. He was there, hadn't been noticed by others, but the Lord saw him. I like it because I don't care where you are, Jesus see you. You think, don't nobody care about you and your dilemma? Jesus see you. He saw you last night while you was wetting the pillow with your tears. He saw you struggling, trying to make ends meet. Jesus, not only did he see him, the Bible said, and he knew. You see, not like other folk. Other people look at you and just imagine. But when Jesus look at you, he has already checked your tax record. When Jesus look at you, he can look at you one time and tell who your mama is, tell who your daddy is. He can look at you one time and tell if your blood pressure is high or low. He can look at you one time and tell if you ever had a stroke or a heart attack. He can look at you one time and tell how much money you got in your bank account. Just one look with Jesus. He know everything. Y'all don't hear me. Anybody here know that not only does he see you, he know all about you. Well, y'all don't believe me. Let me read the verse again. It said, a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie and knew. Is that in your Bible? It didn't say he imagined. It said he knew how long he had been there. And Jesus had just showed up. Lord, he, wish I had some help in here. He knew how that he had been there a long time. Now, watch this. Jesus asked the man a question. It looks stupid to me when he asked him, but when you think about it, it's not so stupid. Jesus said, would thou be made whole? Wait a minute, Jesus. You see me. You know how long I've been here. and you know I'm trying to itch my way to the pool, and you're going to ask me, do I want to get well? I mean, anybody could answer that, Jesus. Why would you ask me, do I want to be made? Y'all don't hear me. Whole. Have I got two witnesses? Do I want to be made